So the online experience, we have over 4,000 visitors a month to the Get Connected area of the website, which is twice the number we had 5 years ago. So that does prove that the use of the internet is growing. I know that, say, half the population of the world now uses the internet for one use or another, so I'm assuming that means everybody in this room uses the internet for something, even if it's only just booking your holiday. But ideally we'd like you to use it in terms of accessing Northern Powergrid services, which is primarily why I'm here today, to tell you what there is there that you can use. So in terms of the Get Connected web page, we've made some improvements on there to try and make our services a little bit more prominent. We've limited the number of navigational links, so apparently people like to find everything they want within a maximum of 3 clicks. And obviously, as it says there, we've improved the clickability. I'm not sure what improved clickability means, Emma, but I think that means there's less clicks to get to where you want to be. We've improved the search engine, so hopefully you can find documentation and things like that much easier. As it says, the document library's got a lot more on there than what it had when it certainly was up and running 5 years ago. And we're constantly enhancing our FAQs, and we've got things on there like a jargon buster, if any of you have been on there and used that. As you know, we quite like our techie terms in Northern Powergrid, so if you go on the jargon buster, you can put in what our technical term means, and it gives you it in a much plainer English description. I think most of our engineers use that on a day-to-day basis, but I'm not sure. So in terms of what Emma's asked me to focus on today is looking at online applications versus the other formats. So in terms of other formats, we've obviously got email, post, I would say fax machine, but I don't think we have a fax machine anywhere in Northern Powergrid now, so we have caught up a little bit and removed those from the business. Pigeon, apparently you can still use carrier pigeon. Not so sure that'll reach us, and I'm not sure where it'd land, but you know, carry on, feel free. But in terms of our applications, what we're trying to do is promote the online application service. And the reason for that is really, we've noticed an increase in, and I'll be honest, an increase in lost emails. So you'll appreciate that in terms of cyber security, we're a huge target, not just because we're one of the utilities, but we're owned by one of the richest men in the world, which makes us a key target for cyber terrorists. So we've had to increase our internet security a lot, and that has ultimately meant that some emails don't manage to get through our security systems, be that because of the type of files that customers are attaching to emails, whether that email may have been intercepted from leaving you and getting to us and somebody's put some sort of a virus on it or something like that. But what we're trying to do is just ask you to please, if you do want to insist on using email, more than happy. But if you haven't heard from us within sort of 5 days at the most, give us a call and just make sure that we've actually got that email, because we don't want you to sit there thinking we're busy designing you a scheme and unfortunately it's not reached our inboxes. So that's just a bit of a please help us to help you kind of ask. But in terms of the online application, that's sort of our securest portal for applying for a connection. And 50% of our customers do now apply online. I think we've got the majority of services available to you on the online application form now, so I don't think there's anything that you can't apply for online. If there is, let me know and we can look at adding that into the suite of options that are there. So in terms of making an application, it's very quick, it's relatively simple. Unfortunately, I can't change the information that we ask for. That does tend to be quite technical, but hopefully if you use the online application form, that guides you through and asks you for the right information. So the information you give us is the right information first time, making that application process much quicker. We've got things on there like the quick cost calculator. So if you're looking to connect a single commercial unit and you know how far you are from the local network, you can put in some, what size of connection you want, how many meters from a cable you are, and it'll give you a quick idea of how much that might cost. We've got guide prices on there, so we update those every 6 to 12 months, so they tell you on average what we've quoted customers that have applied in the past for similar kind of connections. You can apply for a budget estimate, so something 10, 20 days where we don't tend to do much assessment of the network. We just basically say, if the network can accept your connection, this is the likelihood of the cost. Or obviously you can apply for your firm quotation, and you're asked for things like, obviously, your contact details, details of the site with a site location plan, showing the site ownership, meter positions, road layouts, substation positions if you know you need one, and then your technical requirements. So what are you connecting? If it's houses, are they gas heated? If it's commercial, what sort of demand are you looking at? Anything exciting in there? Big motors, big welders, wind turbine in the car park, CHP, you know, those kind of the things that we need to know when you're making an application to us. And if you go through the form online, it asks you those questions, and as long as you give us the right information and you answer it honestly, you know, we can provide you with an accurate quotation, or we can at least contact you and discuss the bits of information that you've missed from the form. As it says, not only can you apply for new connections, you can also apply to alter your existing connection. We've got two online application processes for alterations. We've got what they call the small works alteration process, which is your single 3-phase under 60 kilowatt. And that's a system where you can go online and you can actually quote yourself and schedule in your visit and schedule in the works. And then for larger, it is just the application form. So just tell us where you are, what you want us to move, and when you want us to move it, and we'll issue you a quotation. Once you apply online, you'll find that you're asked to set up an online account. This is your own online account where all your applications are saved. So every application you make will be stored in that area. When we issue you a quotation, not only do we email or post you that quotation, we also upload it to your account. So if you lose it, there's a backup copy stored on your online account. One of the other features in there is that you can duplicate an application. So, for instance, if you're applying for a new connection and a disconnection, you fill in all your information for your new connection and then you want to apply for your disconnection, you can just copy that form and select that you want a disconnection one from the list, and it auto-populates the information that's relevant across the disconnection form. So that makes it a little bit easier. If you've got multiple sites and you're connecting the same technology, you can duplicate it and just go in and change the site address. So hopefully a little bit quicker than people that handwrite lots and lots of paper forms. And you can upload as many I think you can upload, is it 5 plans now, I think we went to. But there's lots of options to upload extra pieces of information in there. And obviously you can email us if you want to send us anything after. But as I say, just make sure we've got your email and it's not been deleted by our quarantined security man. Other services on there are the demand and generation availability maps. They've been running 3 years now. Last year we launched the demand availability map, which is used quite regularly now. They're updated on a monthly basis. We have a dedicated resource that is now there to make sure that they are updated on a monthly basis for customers. We're just in the process of doing April's update, and that should be live within the next week. So we're on track for that. In terms of the information that they give you, the generation availability map basically points you towards the constraints, so things that Jim mentioned this morning, in terms of what's going to affect you if you want to connect anything in that area. So fault level, voltage constraints, reverse power flow, what other schemes we've got out there in the field, so what other quotations have we issued to customers that may affect you in terms of the interactivity process, what's been accepted but not connected yet. So it gives you a good idea of what's actually going on in the area that you're considering for connecting generation. It typically looks at HV and EHV connections. We're not quite there with the LV network as yet, but hopefully in the next sort of few years we can, if the need is there, we can expand it and put low voltage on there as well. Because it worked really well for generation customers, we branched that out to the demand customers. And as I saw, a customer was using that earlier for looking at development areas around Leeds. It is just where we got demand available, predominantly much more green in terms of availability than the generation maps. So, but yeah, offers the same information really. Where have we got capacity spare? What's the minimum available on that network? What's the maximum available? Rating of transformers, and again the quoted schemes but not accepted. So gives you a good flavour of what's going on and what's being connected on our network.